Welcome to Serious About Rugby League. Today on the agenda we're going to talk about the top 5, who's going to make it, and is this the most exciting Super League season yet? Now, the quality of the league might not be brilliant, but I think it's fair to say that we're seeing the benefits of having a salary cap this season because the league is so evenly matched. We're looking at Saints, probably running away with it, Warrington, maybe Hull, but then below that it's a very, very congested middle of the table. Now there's only 4 points between Salford in 6th now and London at the bottom of the league. Hull FC are 3rd, but they're 10 points off the top and 10 points off the bottom, which is just crazy really. So I'll come to you first on this, Paul. We talked about it the other night and I've just said it then. The quality might not be there, but is the excitement making this the best Super League season yet? The closeness of it?
I think Super League is always that. I think we mentioned the Leeds game against Wigan the other night, and for all it was low on quality, but we kept saying you can't take your eyes off it. The games are always tight. There was always that, never more than a try or two in it. You can always see the team that are losing getting a bit of momentum and coming back in the last 10 minutes. I don't think, very, very rarely, apart from probably St Helens, where teams are comfortable going into the last 5-10 minutes in games. It's good to watch, exciting. It's good to see teams like Castleford who do well. Obviously Salford is 6th now. Teams like that, the smaller clubs, it's good to see them in the playoffs. It shows the salary cap is doing what it's supposed to do. Whether you say that means the salary cap working, I think is probably a discussion for another day.
Yeah. So what do you make of it, Sean? Because the quality might not be there, but there's so much riding on these games now. So much can happen and it can change so easily.
Yeah,
so
I think that's true for both the top and the bottom. We've never had a relegation battle where realistically 5, maybe even 6 teams are well within the realms of possibility of going down, even at this stage. And I think when we started the season, we probably would have said the same thing, because London aren't going to compete, are they? London aren't going to compete, but London are competing and are competing well. So it's a problem for teams above them, because any sort of security they thought they might have had is now not there, which makes it exciting in itself. We've got one of the most exciting games of the season coming up this week, and it's between the 2 bottom teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the quality might not be there. I think what I would say is that the bottom half of the Super League are better than the bottom half of the Super League used to be.
Yeah.
But the top half is not as good as the top half used to be. The top half used to be exceptionally good and the bottom half was exceptionally poor. Whereas I think we found this year the top half are good and the bottom half are not so good.
But you're unlikely to have it both ways, are you? Because obviously the bottom half are winning more games and they're taking points off the top teams, i.e. London beating St Helens. So it's one of them, isn't it? You can't really have it both ways.
I think I prefer it this way. I think, and no matter what, you can blame the quality of the competition or not. Even if we took the salary cap out, you prefer this to be happening, you prefer it to be a league table where you can sit down on a Thursday night, on a Friday night, whatever Sky put on, and you're interested because it affects your team. No matter where you are in the table, it affects your team, and that's exciting. That's what you want to see.
Yeah, well, we're going to go and talk about the teams at the bottom in a different discussion. But if we just look at the current top 5, we've got St Helens on 32 points, probably already there. Then Warrington on 26, Hull on 22, Catalans on 20. Castleford on 18, then below that Salford on 16, Wigan on 16, Wakefield on 16, and then you can probably go to Huddersfield on 14. Now that current top 5, Paul, of Saints, Warrington, Hull, Catalans and Castleford, do you think that'll be the top 5 come the end of the season?
I think Catalans seems to be in a little bit of free fall. So I think there's a worry there that they do tend to win games at home in the summer. I think they tend to put scores on teams. I think even teams that can go and win grand finals I've known Wigan have been there, been hammered before. It's happened to everybody, so you would expect them to up it. But I am a bit worried about Catalans at the minute. There doesn't seem to be much desire there. They're losing games that they shouldn't be losing, and losing by scores that nobody should lose by. Castleford, I think they start to get a few players back. I think the jungle is always a hard place to go. I think probably the team in trouble out of the top 5 could well be Catalans in the long run. I think Castleford will probably be alright.
Would you agree with that, Sean? Because, I mean, Paul talked about then Catalans normally get their wins in the summer, but it's summer now and they've just been beaten at home to London. So
it's a strange one because Catalans are a side that you look on paper and you think they should be there.
Yeah.
They should be there. And as you said, we're getting to that period of the year where Catalans do tend to come into their own. They tend to have a spell between the start of July and the end of August where they'll win 7 out of 8 games, and it's whether they can hit that. If they hit that form, then yeah, 100% they're going to be there, aren't they? Hull FC seem to have come into their own. They've got that consistency about them now. They've got players back. You struggle to see where losses are going to come from a Hull's perspective. Castleford, I've seen them. I've been watching Castleford a couple of times in the last few weeks, and they're consistent enough for me.
Yeah.
It's not the Castleford that we saw a couple of years ago, or even last year. It's a Castleford team that will win some games just by the skin of their teeth, and then they'll lose games comfortably, and that's how it feels at the minute. So, on that basis, you've got to go that Catalans are the ones in danger because they are the ones that are going to have to do something special to get in there. Whereas I feel like Castleford will play 6 games, win 3 or 4, and that'll be enough at this point in the season to get them over the line. For the teams just out the top 5, Salford's inconsistency is a massive problem. When it comes to Wakefield and probably not Huddersfield at this point. When it comes to Wakefield are another one of those teams that at this point in the season they started putting big scores on people. I know from a Wigan fan's point of view, we went there twice and we lost 62-0, and then the same time of the year, the following season, we lost 34-0, and then last year we got beat comfortably as well. So it's like at this stage of the year, Wakefield do tend to put scores on people, and it's about getting that form right if they're going to really, really push. And the other team outside the top 5 that you look at and you think there's chances there is Wigan. And I think if you're St Helens, Warrington and Hull, unless you're the most optimistic of fan, you don't want Wigan in the top 5. I think any fan would want Wigan, except for Wigan fans, you won't want Wigan in the top 5 because you know they've got that ability and they've got that know-how to get right through to the end. But like we said 2 weeks ago, Wigan had Hull KR, Leeds, and now they've got Huddersfield, Salford and Hull KR again. If they go and get 3 wins out of those 3, I mean just won the 2 games, the 2 must-win games, then Wigan are in the top 5, and
yeah,
you're looking at the season in a completely different light.
Yeah, would you agree, Paul? Because we were talking earlier, the teams that are currently congested, they're going for that top 5. Which out of them could actually finish in the top 5 and then go on to win the grand final? Is there anyone?
Well, I feel like as Sean said, I think the only real team that could possibly win it from 5th that are around there is Wigan. Catalans, I mean, they're used to playing away from home, I suppose, so they could possibly go on a little bit of a run, but you can't really see it. I think we mentioned before the kind of run you're gonna have to go on to win the grand final from 4th to 5th. I mean, you got to win away at Hull, Warrington, beat St Helens in the grand final. Well, that's week after week after week. Grand final possibly against a team that's also had a rest. It's not for me. I think I said 2 weeks ago I thought Wigan would finish 7th. Okay, they've had 2 really scrappy wins now, which has really helped them. Castleford lost on Thursday, but I mean it did take a really, really good Hull performance in the second half to beat Castleford. Castleford went off the pedal a little bit second half, but Hull was special second half, particularly Jake Connor and Albert Galley. I think if it pushed now, I think the top 5 will stay as it is. Like I said, we've mentioned Catalans are the team, but the danger has to be Wigan, and they have the know-how, they have the players in the squad who have won grand finals from a bit lower down in the table. But for me, for now, I'd say the top 5 will stay as it is.
Well, certainly interesting. Guys, please let us know who you think will finish in the top 5 come the end of the season, and is this the most exciting Super League season yet? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell.